Like to ask you some questions. What inspired you both to shift to Europe?
For me personally, it was always in my mind. I mean, even when I was in my school here in St. Edward's or in DAV Lakkad Bazaar, I always had it in my mind that okay, I would definitely like to have an international experience. For me, it was not at that moment that clear if I would like to go for an education or for working abroad. But yeah, eventually when I completed my bachelor's degree and then worked in Gurgaon, then I realized that okay, now is the correct opportunity to upgrade my skills and also to have an international education. So that's when I opted to go for the master program.
Why didn't you choose any other country like the USA or Canada?
We did a triple degree masters and where we had an exposure to three different countries. So we started with Spain, we had a second semester in Italy, and we had a third semester both different in different countries. He had in Germany and I had in UK. So we evaluated three of the countries and then we decided where we have want to shift as a future country. So then we decided that Austria is a really nice country where we would like to settle down in future.
Uh, and for me personally, it was never, I mean, it was not really fixed. I would say that I would like to go to Spain or to Germany or to US or UK. It was also a decision based on the course that I wanted to undertake. So I found a really interesting course, which was exactly what I wanted. It was like not even completely technical, not even like engineering based course, but also a mix of engineering and management. So, and on top of that was the very nice international experience, as she mentioned, of different countries. So, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the scope for engineering in the European countries?
I would say scope is a very vague or a very relative thing. Uh, as an individual, I would say you need to go and do things that you are good at, and then you'll definitely find opportunities in any country wherever you go. So scope is like it is. I would say it is a very vague statement. If I would say that it would be vague and kind of false if I say that okay, in Germany a lot of scope for, let's say, for engineering or management, which it is. There is a good scope over there, as if we say, but I would also like to emphasize that it depends a lot upon individual to individual and what he wants to do, what he's good at, he or she's good at.
And what about medical? Should we do medical in India or in European countries, especially Germany?
There, there is a huge demand for medical professionals in European countries. For example, if I have to mention Germany, they have a very aging population, due to which they do need a lot of medical professionals, whether doctors or nurses or like people related to the medical profession. They do need it, but they also have very stringent regulations. So you can have your medical qualifications from anywhere across the globe, but there is a process set for getting your degrees and your qualifications recognized. So you have to follow that process when you land over there. So a huge part of it is learning German, and also if, for example, you are a doctor, you should be proficient in the technical German. Yeah.
Also, how is it adjusting yourself in the foreign countries, and how did Frau Sharma make your journey easier?
So it is always crucial to know the local languages because, like here in India, we see many of the people don't know English, and we try to prefer talking in Hindi. So that is the same situation in all the countries. They prefer to talk in their local languages when we go to shops or any other places. So SOFL Shimla and Frau Sharma has always helped us in this because resettling in the country where you don't know a foreign language is difficult. So of course, I would recommend everyone who is moving to European countries to know the local languages before going to that country is very helpful.
what according to you is the major difference between Indian culture and German culture, European culture?
I would say you can't classify Europe as a single culture. I mean, every country is a little bit different, bit too different. For example, Spanish people are completely different to, let's say, German people, Italian people as well. I mean, Italian people are, let's say, closer to Spanish people as compared to German people in terms of their habits, in terms of their lifestyle and everything. So we can't really compare like European culture and Indian culture, but we can say okay, a better comparison would be, let's say, Indian culture and German culture. So if we have to compare these two, I would say Indians are very open-hearted, open-minded, and uh,
Warm-hearted.
warm-hearted, really flexible in terms of how they do things, what they do in their daily lifestyle. Whereas German people prefer to have a very strict routine or a very fixed routine. They are not really used to working in chaos. So they have to organize their things, their daily lifestyle, their work, their personal life, everything. So they like to organize it and then go accordingly. So it's the biggest thing is that you can't really have like you can't be really inflexible, or you can't, once you have planned something, you need to stick to it, and then you can just be on the very last moment making changes to it and stuff. And definitely another thing is the punctuality. So for example, if you have an appointment for 8 o'clock, so in India it could be anything between 7:30 to 8:30, for example. But in Germany it would always mean like 7:45. People would be there at 7:45. So just
Uh,
a couple of examples.
do Indians celebrate Indian festivals in Germany, like Diwali, Holi?
So there are big cities like Berlin and Munich where they have a huge society of Indians, and there are Indian associations which are quite active. So the huge amount of festivals are celebrated in these associations. Whereas if you go to a smaller towns or smaller places, it is difficult. But then again, if Indians are there, they celebrate their festivals. So yeah, of course.
We thank you for your attention.